Hello, friends. Welcome to the video you have all been waiting for. Today, I'm going to be revealing to you the parks that we'll be visiting this year for the 2026 season. As you know, Theme Park Guy Productions is a YouTube channel based off of in Orlando, Florida. You know, I cover a whole bunch of different parks across Florida, especially Walt Disney World, Universal Orlando, SeaWorld Orlando, and Busch Gardens Tampa. So I cover those four main parks/resorts. And so every year, I like to go out and travel to some parks that are outside of Florida. So I like to go over to maybe, sometimes I may fly over to California, or maybe I'll go over to New Jersey, or maybe the great state of Ohio. And I'll go and visit those parks, see how they're doing, and get some new coaster credits in the process. And so this year, we'll be talking to you guys about the parks that I will be visiting this year for the 2026 season, and just kind of give a rundown on some of the new attractions that we'll be seeing in Orlando as well, to kind of give you a sense on what new things I will be experiencing this year. And so, without further ado, let's go ahead and get started. Now, before we jump into the parks that I'll be traveling to this year, let's talk about some of the new attractions that we'll be getting here in Orlando. So, over at the Walt Disney World Resort, I've already experienced this, but Buzz Lightyear Space Ranger Spin recently just came back from a refresh, and Big Thunder Mountain is soon going to be reopening from a refurbishment next month. And so I'll be doing a video on those two rides together. I actually already rode Buzz Lightyear. If you guys saw my Instagram account, I posted my reaction on that, so if you guys want to go ahead and check it out. And then also over at Disney's Hollywood Studios, Rock and Roller Coaster is currently closed right now as the Muppets are getting ready to take over. So that'll be a new refurbishment over there. And then also, Millennium Falcon Smuggler's Run will be receiving a new Mandalorian mission. And so we'll be checking those out. And then also the Disney Animation Experience over where Animation Courtyard once was. That will be over there now. And then over at Epcot, Soarin' Across America will be debuting this summer. And so we'll get to check that out this year, experience that ride, see how it is. I'll have to find time to ride Soarin' around the world one last time before they change it to Soarin' Across America. And then Universal Orlando, they're not getting anything new at Universal this year, since they just opened up a brand new theme park last year at Universal's Epic Universe. Then at SeaWorld Orlando, this came as a huge surprise, but Expedition Odyssey is closing so that they can renovate it to Expedition Odyssey of Fire and Ice. So we not only have that to check out, but then also SeaQuest Legends of the Deep will be opening this year at SeaWorld Orlando. That is scheduled to open this year. They still have a lot of progress to work on. However, it's looking good. And then at Busch Gardens Tampa, they don't have any new rides, but they do have the Lion on Hyena Ridge that they're building over at the Edge of Africa section of that park. But then not only that, over at a park that I have not been to since 2012, called Legoland Florida, which, yes, I'm going to try to make time to go over there this year. They built another coaster themselves, called Galactic Coaster. And apparently, it's really good. So I'm going to find some time this year to spend a day at Legoland, get on that roller coaster, and just overall experience the park. So that's kind of the first park that I'll be visiting this year in a way, even though that's in Florida. So that was kind of a bad reveal. However, that's that. I'll be going to ride Galactic Coaster at some point this year. And then also, I am trying to go over to Island H2O Water Park this year. That's a water park that I have not been to ever. And so those are kind of stuff that I'll be doing here at home this year. But now, let's talk about the trips that I'll be going on this year. Now, before I reveal to you where I'll be traveling this year, let's kind of take a look back at the past and see where I've traveled in the past, because we've done a lot of great trips in the most recent years. So think to 2023, where I went to Hershey Park, Six Flags Great Adventure, Morey's Piers. Or maybe in 2024, where I went to Schlitterbahn, SeaWorld San Antonio, and Six Flags Fiesta Texas. Or even last year in 2025, where I went to Knott's Berry Farm, Santa Monica Pier, Six Flags Magic Mountain, and the Disneyland Resort. Over the past few years, we have done some amazing trips. But I am very excited to announce that for the 2026 season, this will be the biggest year in the history of Theme Park Guy Productions in terms of travel. We are going to 7 different parks across the world. 7 different parks. Think about that. 7. You could say 6, you could say 7. 6, 7, 6, 7. But yes, we're going to 7 different parks. And I'm excited to reveal to you the kind of trips that we're experiencing. So, we're going to start off by doing a little road trip. And I'm going to be returning to 3 parks in this trip. And there's going to be 1 new park that I'll be visiting that I haven't been to before. So, we're going to start off, we're going to do the little game that I like to do every year called Hints. I'm going to give you guys a couple hints that I'll be sharing with you, and then we'll reveal the park. So, the first park on the trip, we're going to be driving up to Atlanta, Georgia, right? And they have a small little park over there that I have not visited. This park has probably one of the most top bucket list roller coasters in any coaster enthusiast's list. That's your first hint. The top bucket list roller coaster. And then they are themed to the country we're in right now. I'm just going to say that. And then lastly, I have been to 2 parks just like this place. So your 3 hints: bucket list roller coaster, American flag, and I've been to 2 of these parks. They're just like this. So, the first park that I'll be going to is Fun Spot Atlanta. Yes, that's a pretty easy one to start with. And so, Fun Spot Atlanta, I'm really looking forward to experience this park for the first time. This is a smaller park that has seen a lot of development recently, especially with the addition of Air Force One, which is that bucket list roller coaster. And Air Force One is just one ride that I am dying to experience. I've heard a lot of reviews, people saying that this is their top RMC, and so I'm really looking forward to experience this ride for myself and see how it compares to some of the other RMCs I've experienced, like Iron Gwazi, Steel Vengeance, or Wildcats Revenge. And then also experience the rest of Fun Spot and just compare that park to the other fun spots that we have here at home, too. Don't forget, there's Fun Spot Orlando and Fun Spot Kissimmee. And so I'm excited to experience Fun Spot Atlanta for the first time. Even though it's a small local park, still go check it out for a few hours and just have a good time here at Fun Spot. And so, that is the 1 new park that I'll be going to. Now, for the 3 returning parks. So while we're in Atlanta, that's not the only park we're going to Atlanta. So, the second park that I'll be going to this year. So the next day after Fun Spot Atlanta, we're going to another park in Atlanta. Now this park over here, this is a park that has seen a lot of growth recently. And so your 3 hints. They have 1 ride that has monsters in it. Here's your first hint. This ride has monsters. Your second hint. The second hint is that they have a roller coaster that literally goes outside the park. Think about that. A roller coaster that goes outside the park. Not many parks have a ride like that. And then the third hint. It may not have 1, not 2, not 3, not 4, not 5, but 6 different flappy thingies. Okay, that was a horrible hint. But you guys have probably already guessed where I'm going to. So, the second park that I'll be going to this year is Six Flags Over Georgia. Yes, Six Flags Over Georgia I'll be returning to this year in 2026. The long wait to return to this park is going to be over. Yes, I'm so excited to finally return to Six Flags Over Georgia. This is a park that I have not visited since the early days of my YouTube channel, which the last time I visited this park was back in 2017, which was a long time ago. This is a park that, this is kind of what kickstarted my channel, was Six Flags Over Georgia. I mean, Universal and SeaWorld Orlando kind of really did it for me back then, but Six Flags Over Georgia was kind of the one vlog that really started it all when I came here with my youth group. And I'm excited to return to this park and see how the park is doing after 9 years. And excited to get on a couple new coasters that I haven't been on since my last trip. They have Twisted Cyclone, which I haven't been on yet, which is an RMC redo of the Georgia Cyclone, which was one of my least favorite coasters. And then you got Georgia Gold Rusher, which is a very unique, intimate ultra surf. Really excited to get on that. But not only that, I'm excited to return on rides like Goliath, Mindbender. They also have the best Batman clone. You got Superman Ultimate Flight, Daredevil Dive, Georgia Scorcher, Blue Hawk, Great American Scream Machine, and many more coasters. I'm looking forward to get back over to Six Flags Over Georgia. It's going to be an awesome day here. And so that is that. Now let's move on to the next park. So I'm going to be making a 4-hour drive from Six Flags Over Georgia to this next park. So this is a park that I'll be returning to as well. So the hints for this park is that your first hint, there are mountains that surround this park. This park has mountains surrounding it, so a very beautiful setting. Your second hint is that this place has cinnamon bread. Literal cinnamon bread. And then your third hint is that this park is themed to a country artist. So here are your 3 hints. Mountains, cinnamon bread, country music. This is another easy one. The next park that I'll be returning to this year is Dollywood in Pigeon Forge, Tennessee. Yes, I am going back to Dollywood this year. I am so excited to finally return to Dollywood. I visited this park back in 2019 with one of my friends, and this is still to this day one of my favorite parks of all time. I seriously love this place to death, and I'm so excited to get back over here to Dollywood and experience all the great rides that they have. And they have a new ride, at least, that will be open when I go, although they are currently working on a new attraction called Night Flight Expedition, which I did see the vehicle for it displayed at IAAPA, but there's a possibility that may not be ready just yet, which is totally fine. However, the new ride that I'll be riding there, at least there, is Big Bear Mountain, which is a Vekoma family coaster, which I've heard nothing but spectacular reviews about. But not only that, we get to return on some of my favorite rides like Lightning Rod, Thunderhead, Tennessee Tornado, Wild Eagle, Fire Chaser Express, Mystery Mine, and much more. I'm excited to just get back over to Dollywood and experience this amazing park once again. And plus, gotta get myself some cinnamon bread. They got such great food at Dollywood. I'd argue and say that Dollywood might just have the best food at any park that I've ever visited. And so, overall, I'm excited to get back on to have the Dollywood experience again. And we're not just going to do Dollywood, we're also going to do some mountain coasters around the Pigeon Forge area and some other touristy attractions as well, because it's not just Dollywood that's really kind of like a destination. It's all Pigeon Forge, really, because you got your mountain coasters, you got Dollywood, you've got all the crazy tourist attractions. Pigeon Forge, in my opinion, it's like the Orlando of Tennessee in a way. Or Pigeon Forge is really like iDrive of Tennessee. And I say that as a good thing because it attracts a lot of people to experience these amazing attractions. And so overall, I'm really excited to get back over to Dollywood, experience this amazing park once again. And that is that. And let's go ahead and move on to the final park on this trip that I'll be doing. So we're going to be making a 4-hour drive to this next park. And so this one is going to be in North Carolina. So your 3 hints. Your first hint is that this park is not located in one state. I mentioned North Carolina, but it's located in 2 states. Your next hint is that they have a roller coaster themed, possibly, to the Charlotte Hornets basketball team, even though they suck. Go Magic. And then your third hint is that roller coaster that I just mentioned has the tallest lift hill of any roller coaster in the world. And so, your 3 hints. Park located in 2 states. They have a roller coaster that not only has the tallest lift hill in the world, but themed to the Charlotte Hornets basketball team, loosely. So, you guys have probably guessed it. The final park in this trip that I will be returning to this year is Carowinds. Yes, I'm going back to Carowinds. This park is located in the border of Fort Mill, South Carolina, and Charlotte, North Carolina. And this park, they haven't really added really anything new since my last visit. I mean, they added like a kiddie coaster, and they removed Nighthawk, which I heard. But I'm excited to get back on some of these amazing coasters here at Carowinds. And this is kind of like, it's like a whole trip. I'm doing like a little trifecta. You got Six Flags Over Georgia, you've got Dollywood, and you've got Carowinds. And they're all like 4 hours apart from each other, so this will be like a nice little trip. But going into Carowinds, I'm excited to get back on some of my favorite coasters here, especially Fury 325, which to this day still remains my favorite B&M coaster of all time. Literally, no B&M roller coaster has beat Fury since my first rides on it back in 2016. I'm also excited to get back on Intimidator. Wait, it's not Intimidator, sorry. Thunder Striker. I know they changed the name recently. It's still Intimidator to me. Or Intimidator. And I'm also excited to get back on Copperhead Strike and Afterburn, and also some of the other coasters like Carolina Cyclone, Hurler, Vortex, Flying Cobras, and more. Carowinds overall, I just remember being a really, really good park. Not only does this park have great operations, not only does it have a great food, but it's also a really clean park and well presented. So overall, I'm excited to get back over to Carowinds, experience this amazing place once again. And that is that. And the main reason why I'm doing this trip in particular is because I am celebrating a big milestone in my life this year. And so this is kind of a celebration of this particular milestone. And the reason why we're doing this trip is because, I don't want to spoil the surprise, but I am going to be graduating from UCF this spring. And so I'm going to be celebrating by doing a fun little throwback road trip and going to parks that I haven't really experienced in a long time. And so I'm really looking forward to get over to Carowinds and also the other parks and celebrate my achievements in my start of my future. And I'm graduating with a degree in theme park and attractions management at UCF Rosen College of Hospitality Management. And so it's been a great journey here, at least in my college years. That's why I haven't been really as busy in this channel, or I haven't been posting as much in the last few years because I've been really busy with schoolwork and all that stuff. And so the future of the channel is still to be determined. I'm not leaving, guys. I'm not leaving anytime soon. If I was leaving, I'd let you guys know. But this is a big step in my life, and so we're celebrating that moment with a fun road trip that I have planned. But this is a big moment, guys, and I just want to say thank you guys for supporting me throughout the journey as well. And so that is that trip, and look, I'm really excited, but we have an even bigger trip planned. And so I'm just going to drink some water real quick. We still got 3 parks to talk about here. You know, like I mentioned before, those are some of the parks that I either returned to or visited for the first time. And in this trip, I'm going to be visiting 3 parks that I have never been to before. Now, think about the parks that I haven't visited yet, because there's still a good amount of parks that I still need to visit here in America. Like, let's think here. I still need to visit, like, Silver Dollar City. I know that's one park I really need to go to. What else? I know Six Flags Over Texas is getting their B&M Giga Dive Coaster. And Six Flags New England just opened up a roller coaster. There's always SeaWorld San Diego. I know I really wanted to go to Six Flags Great America in Chicago. And I still like to go back to Busch Gardens Williamsburg because they have like 3 roller coasters I haven't been on yet. But we're not going to any of those parks. No. We're not going to any new parks in America. Well, outside of Fun Spot Atlanta. We're going to go international this year. Yes, guys, for the first time in Theme Park Guide Productions history, we're going to be taking it international this year. Yes. And why not better way to go than to fly over to Europe? Yes, I'm going to Europe this year. And I am so excited to finally announce that I'm going to Europe this year. And we're going to be going to 3 parks in Europe. So, first off, we're going to be flying over to the amazing city that is Paris, France, which is a highlight city that I really would like to go to. And so I'm excited to go over to Paris. We're going to be checking out like the Eiffel Tower and stuff like that, the Notre Dame, and all these great stuff. Maybe we'll grab a croissant as well. However, we are going to a couple parks in Paris. So, this is going to be like one reveal for 2 parks. So, your 3 hints. Your first hint is that it all started with a mouse. There's your first hint. It all started with a mouse. The second hint is that I have been to 2 of these resorts. One here in my backyard and another in California. And your third hint is that they recently just rebranded one of the parks. And so, where I'm going to be going to in Paris, drum roll please, Disneyland Paris Resort. Yes, we're going to be going to the Disneyland Paris Resort, and it was pretty obvious, I'm sure, However, we're not just going to Disneyland Paris Park, but we're also going to the new branded Disney Adventure World, which was formerly Walt Disney Studios, and I am so excited to finally go to Disneyland Paris for the first time. This has been just a dream park for me since I was a kid. I remember watching videos growing up of Disneyland Paris, and I'm like, wow, this place looks so cool. And really just all the Disney parks. It was the same thing for Disneyland. I remember going to Disneyland for the first time in 2021. I was just so mesmerized by the place. And going back this past year was still just as magical as ever. So going to Disneyland Paris, I cannot wait to go here. Like, this place looks phenomenal. Like Disneyland Park, for example, looks so much fun. I mean, you got attractions like Star Wars Hyperspace Mountain. You got Big Thunder Mountain, which apparently is the best Big Thunder Mountain out there. You got an Indiana Jones roller coaster. You got Pirates of the Caribbean. You got Phantom Manor, which is apparently, some people prefer that over Haunted Mansion, which I'm like, interesting. But I'm excited to go on those rides at Disneyland Paris, but also, we gotta talk about Disney Adventure World. I mean, this is just a whole new rebrand. And so, with Disney Adventure World, they just opened up the Frozen Land, which also has the Frozen Ever After ride, which, yes, we have at Epcot, but it'll be fun to ride it at Disney Adventure World. And also, they've got their own Avengers Campus, which has the Spider-Man's Web Adventure, which is Web Slingers from California Adventure. Then you got Avengers Flight Force, which is Rock and Roller Coaster. Outside of that, you also got other great rides in this park, like you got RC Racer, Crush's Coaster, Tower of Terror. And so overall, I'm so excited to not just experience Disneyland Paris and Disney Adventure World for the first time, but then also compare those parks to some of the Disney parks that we have here at home in America. Because I'm just really excited to compare the international, at least an international park, to a domestic park here in America. And so Disneyland Paris and Disney Adventure World is going to be tons of fun. And I just did that one reveal because it's like a whole big resort. It's like with Disneyland, you've got Disneyland Park, California Adventure, or like Universal Orlando. At least in North Campus, you got Universal Studios and Universal Islands of Adventure. And so it's just like that, where you got two different parks. And you can literally walk from one park to the other, which is super convenient. It's going to be an awesome time. I cannot wait. And that is that. And now we have made it to the final park. And so we're not just ending it there in Paris, because we're also going to be heading over to London, England, London's another place that I love to visit. I mean, you've got a lot of great things here. Like, you got the Big Ben. You've got there's like a whole apparently Harry Potter was filmed in London, which I'm so excited. And you got all these great things in London as well. They got the Shakespeare Theater, and I'm so excited to experience London. However, there is a park that I will be going to in London. And so, here are your 3 hints. So, the first hint is that this place, I believe, has the United Kingdom's tallest and fastest roller coaster. I believe it is. I know it's not Europe, but I know it's United Kingdom's tallest and fastest roller coaster. The second hint is that they have a roller coaster themed to The Walking Dead, which I've done a couple of Walking Dead houses at Halloween Horror Nights when I was like a teenager, which this will be super cool. And then the last hint is that this park is owned by the company that runs Legoland. So there are your 3 hints. They've got United Kingdom's tallest and fastest roller coaster, a roller coaster themed to The Walking Dead, and the owners of this park own Legoland. The final park that I will be going to for the 2026 season, drumroll please, is Thorpe Park. Yes, I'm going to be going to Thorpe Park this year. And guys, I'm really excited to go over to Thorpe Park. This is a park that I haven't really thought about as much. Like, when I think of the United Kingdom or the UK, I always think of Alton Towers. However, a lot of people that I have talked to, they say they prefer Thorpe Park over Alton Towers. And Thorpe Park is essentially the UK's most thrilling park. They have got the thrill rides and thrill machines here at this park. And so when I meant by the United Kingdom's tallest and fastest roller coaster, I meant by Hyperia, which is a mock hyper coaster that looks so insane. I mean, I was watching a POV of this ride, and I'm like, yeah, this thing looks like a top bucket list coaster in my eyes. Like, we're just watching it, I'm like, this ride looks just out of control. And then also you've got the Walking Dead coaster, like I just talked about before, which is themed to like I said, it's themed to The Walking Dead, which is super cool. But they also got a coaster themed to the Saw movies. They have Saw the Ride. But not only that, you got other coasters that I'll be looking forward to experience. Like, they got an Intamin Looper called Colossus, which apparently has 10 inversions, which is just ridiculous. Like, I haven't been on a coaster with that many loops, so that's going to be one wild ride. You also got a B&M invert called Nemesis Inferno. You've got an Intamin hydraulic launch coaster called Stealth that looks tons of fun. And you got a B&M wing coaster called the Swarm, which looks cool. And you also got a little kiddie power coaster called Flying Fish, which that'll be fun to experience. And so overall, I'm just really excited to go to Thorpe Park and compare this regional park to some of the other regional parks that we have here in America. And so that's going to be a really fun experience. And I'm really excited to just not only go to these parks, but to really enjoy the cities of Paris and London and just enjoy going international, because I've never done this before. Like, this is going to be a new experience for me. It's going to have its challenges. It's going to have its ups and downs. However, it is really going to be an incredible experience. And so I'm really looking forward to go over to London and Paris. And that is going to conclude the parks that I'll be traveling to this year for the 2026 season. And if you guys are ever here at the parks like that and you just happen to run into me, feel free to say hi. I will not be telling any dates that I'll be going to these parks. That is certainly exclusive. However, if you guys do end up seeing me at the parks, feel free to say hi, guys. Like, I don't mind. And so that is going to conclude this video overall. And of course, I'm going to be doing my usual park updates videos and event videos and stuff like that. But yeah, that's going to conclude this video in particular. And thank you guys so much for watching this video, and I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, feel free to give this video a like, and don't forget to subscribe as well for videos in the future. If you enjoyed this one, don't forget to turn on those post notifications so you guys know when to upload a new video. And as always, make sure to check out Theme Park Guide Productions as well on all social media platforms. Links will be in the description below. I'll see you guys next time. And as always, you are clear for dispatch. See you at the parks.